Okay, we're live. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday with Nutritional Frontiers. I am your host, Tracy Straub, and with me tonight is Joe Massino, functional nutritionist, and who we like to call the godfather of nutrition. What's up, Joe?
Just don't go against the family. No, hey, we're going to make everybody a heartfelt offer they can't refuse.
Uh-oh. What are we
Heart
offering?
health offer in Heart Month, in Cardiovascular Month, in February. So let's do it.
Well, let's do it. Well, I'm not surprised, but I think most people are. When I was looking up statistics on cardiovascular, that it's still the number one killer, and that it kills more people than all cancers combined. So
Exactly.
What are we stressing over a virus for?
Well, we're not, but why are they stressing over a virus?
I don't know.
I don't know either, but cardiovascular health is still the thing. And who is at most risk for any complications to a virus or a bacteria? Mm-hmm. It's those challenged with cardiovascular issues.
Right.
And that includes, of course, type 2 diabetes. They go hand in hand. So we know they're the most at risk. They're the most vulnerable. And everything from type 2 diabetes to high blood pressure to high cholesterol to cardiovascular disease, these are all caused. Well, of course, the medical community will call them idiopathic. They don't know what causes them, but we know what causes them.
Toxicity. It's a good name, though.
Yeah. Toxicity and deficiencies.
Well, unfortunately, Jamie couldn't be with us tonight. He's a little bit behind in his schedule today, but we are with him and we miss him. And there's Michaela, our president, chatting on the stream, so I can see her. Welcome, Michaela. And, guys, we're going to go over our February focus, which is heart health, the number one killer of all Americans, the number one killer overall. It kills more people than all cancers combined. And ladies, you're not immune to it. One of the things that I found out was, according to most statistics, right, it's the number one killer of women. And they miss the signs. Unexplained fatigue. I mean, come on, Joe. What woman in America isn't tired? I'm tired all the time. I must be suffering from chronic cardiovascular disease.
There are some other reasons for that fatigue, but yeah.
Yeah, it's called kids and COVID. That was the number one fatigue killer this year.
Right.
Shortness of breath, cold sweats, dizziness, lightheadedness, nausea, and vomiting. A woman suffers a heart attack every 90 seconds in the United States. And these aren't older women. These are in the demographics between 50 and 75, right, where, they're in their prime. So, I think it's really important that we start addressing this. And, I do realize the virus is real and people are scared. But one of the things we really need to pay attention to is cardiovascular disease, metabolic syndrome overall. What do you think, the number one cause of most cardiovascular issues are? Talk to me, Joe. Give me your wisdom.
No, the number one cause for most cardiovascular issues. Well, if it's not caused by the physicians themselves through the prescription drugs of statins and high blood pressure medications, then the number one cause is going to be, it has to be obesity and then insulin resistance.
That's right. That's actually right. The number one cause is probably overweight to obesity, insulin resistance, and then medication-induced cardiovascular disease. It's like boom, boom, boom.
Right.
So let's start in reverse order, because here's the thing. Statin drugs, I remember back in the day, were for my grandfather. And now they're putting people on a trifecta. And you and I talked about this on the radio.
I'm smiling because I am a grandfather.
You're the godfather, not the grandfather. Now, Joe, do I have to recaption you and remind you who you are? The godfather.
Yeah.
So, no, but truly, right, we talked about this, that most reimbursements for medical practitioners, in order to get their full reimbursement from their insurance companies, they have to prescribe a trifecta of drugs.
Right.
The blood sugar drug, right, the blood pressure drug, and the statin drug, or they're not going to get their full reimbursement.
Correct.
That kind of takes away the whole ability to doctor your patients, if you ask me, because now if you really want to get paid and pay back your school debt and all the other things that you've acquired, well, if you don't prescribe that trifecta, well, you're not going to get that full reimbursement.
And they're prescribing it to, the majority of their patients. Anybody that's got the slightest inkling towards any one of those issues, they get prescribed all three. If you get somebody who gets who's having insulin resistance, his blood sugar's a little bit high, they don't just prescribe metformin. They prescribe metformin, blood pressure, cholesterol.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about, I know in some countries, not ours, but some countries, it's actually illegal for a medical professional to prescribe a statin without a CoQ10.
Correct.
Right.
And here's a great clinical pearl. In
Clinical pearl.
1978, okay?
We're going back.
1978, the patent for the first statin drug, which was Novastatin, the patent includes, and you can look this up on the U.S. Patent Office, U.S. Gov Office. It's the original patent had CoQ10 in it.
Wow. Well, why'd they take it out?
Let's see. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Yeah,
it was way too effective. They couldn't create cardiovascular disease.
No, and not only that, it was a natural substance, and they couldn't, cost-wise. I mean, there's all kind of reasons, Tracy, but yeah, it was in the original patent for the first statin drug. Not too many people realize that.
Well, we do have some solutions. Let's talk about a few. And guys, since it's cardiovascular focus this month, all the products that we're going to talk about tonight are 20% off for healthcare professionals. I don't know if you have an account with us. We would love to work with you. So if you are a healthcare professional, you can establish a wholesale account with us at nutritionalfrontiers.com. You just go there and you create an account, and one of our incredible customer service agents will help you establish a wholesale so that you can carry our incredible products in your practice. But I want to talk about CoQ10, Joe, because we have a tremendous blend called PowerQ. And we actually have two different types. So I'd like you to take a moment and kind of explain to us what the difference is and the benefits and who we can help tonight, right?
Sure.
Because everybody that's on a statin should be on a CoQ10. Write that down. There's a clinical pearl. If you're on a statin, you need CoQ10.
Right. I would take that a step further. I'd say anybody over the age of 40, maybe younger, maybe 30, should be on CoQ10. It's one of those endogenous nutrients, natural to the body. Your body makes it all your life. Of course, levels of it go down as you get older. Things that we do stop the production of it. The number one, of course, is the statin drug. Now, why is that? Well, let's go to that for a second real quick, because for those that don't know, CoQ10, coenzyme Q10, is an enzyme that's made in the same chemical pathway in your liver as cholesterol. Same chemical pathway. So they're both vital nutrients. Obviously, they have to be if they're made together. CoQ10, Tracy, is in every cell of our body. The cell doesn't have CoQ10 in it, the cell prematurely dies. It's that simple. Every cell requires it. Now, if you take a statin drug to stop the production, to block that enzyme, to stop the production of cholesterol or to slow it down, you do the exact same thing for CoQ10. So everybody needs it. It's almost like, I was saying earlier in the week, it's almost one of the forgotten nutrients. We've gotten so many great formulations that we just sometimes push it on the back burner, but I know I don't, because it's one of my staples. CoQ10, PowerQ 600, I never go without it. Never will. Now, we have a whole suite of CoQ10 products. We have PowerQ by itself, which is a chewable form of CoQ10 using ubiquinone. We have a PowerQ soft gel that uses ubiquinol. The first question people ask all the time is, should I take ubiquinone or ubiquinol? Well, I tell them it depends on the delivery method. Right. Because if you're going to take it in a soft gel form, then you want our ubiquinol in our soft gel. If you like the chewables, which I do, then the ubiquinone is just as absorbable. Why? Because in the chewable format, not swallowing a capsule of powder, but in the chewable format, saliva becomes the transport mechanism and it becomes water miscible. So now the absorption capacity just skyrockets. And it's every bit, if not more absorbable than ubiquinol, that still has to go through the digestive system. Well,
the studies also showed, Joe, that a chewable and the the ubiquinone, the forms do matter, but if it's a chewable, it actually gets into the bloodstream just as effectively. So we have several different kinds. If you like capsules, we have the right form. If you like chewables, we have the right form. But we also have the Power Q600. So we have the Power CoQ10 and the Power CoQ10 600. Just explain the difference, because one of our favorites is in there, Joe. One of our favorites.
It is. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. It's coming.
Spoiler alert. Well, the 600 was just an incredible idea to combine these two powerful nutrients, coenzyme Q10 and DMG, dimethylglycine. And the reason, energy is always at the core of this. I mean, they both work in the mitochondria. They both work for the production of energy. But, with all the things DMG does, we know it helps increase oxygen utilization. Why is that important when you put it in with other nutrients, especially something like CoQ10? It's important because it will then increase the uptake of that nutrient you combine it with into the bloodstream, because it's opening up the bloodstream. It's increasing oxygen utilization. And when we get to some of the other products we're going to talk about tonight, you're going to see how important that is. And when you open that up, when you increase oxygen into the capillaries, you increase blood flow. What do you think is carrying the nutrients to the parts of the body that needs it? Your blood. So when you combine DMG with any other nutrient, it just gives it a power boost to get up into the cells.
Well, I broke out my book today. So for people that don't have this book, you need it. It's called Building Wellness with DMG.
Yeah.
It's written by Roger Kendall. He's a PhD. Incredible book. I mean, it's one of my favorites. So I'm going to name drop. You ready? I'm going to name drop. Besides this guy, I'm going to name drop. So I sent some of our products to a really prominent biochemist. And I just wanted this person to use them, take a look at them. And I talked to her the other day. And she's like, you know what? She's like, these are incredible. She's like, and tell me about this DMG. So
I think I know who it is. I'm not going to say.
Yeah, you can say it. You can say it. Anyway, I just sent her the book. Who do you think it is?
Judy
Mikovits. So she is like so impressed with our formulations, and girl's got a big brain. So I was really happy to hear that. She was really happy. She thought the DMG was like, wow. She's like, you put it in everything. I was like, well, there's a reason for that.
Yes.
So she's like, well, do you have information on it? And we were talking about methylation. So I sent her my PowerPoints and my videos that I did on MTHFR. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sending Judy my PowerPoints. So I messaged her. I was like, please don't rip them apart. And she's like, oh no, she's like, they're great. So I was kind of flattered.
Yes.
And I was really happy to hear that she loved our formulas.
Yeah.
It was a really cool compliment. So I thought that was great. It was good. So DMG making a comeback, right? Yes. It was never gone. So that is in our Power Q. So that's what makes it so effective. Yeah. So you have choices. You have choices on level of, how much CoQ. It's also extremely important in glycolysis. So it ties right into blood sugar, Joe.
Yes, absolutely does. And, the levels that are in Power Q600, it's 600 because it's 300 milligrams of CoQ10, 300 milligrams of DMG. Now, one thing that goes that we should mention, even though we're talking about heart health, this is the core, the absolute core of our brain health protocol. Our Parkinson's protocol is this formula. The original Parkinson's formula by Dr. Perlmutter used 1,200 milligrams of CoQ10. Now, he didn't use DMG originally, and this goes back about 20 years. But when we came out with this formulation, instead of using just regular CoQ10, we used the Power Q600. And now you get in 4 chewables, you get the 1,200, 4 chewable tablets. That's it throughout the day. But you get also 1,200 milligrams of DMG, which is causing that CoQ10, that 1,200 milligrams of CoQ10 to skyrocket into the bloodstream. So it's like taking 2,400 milligrams. And don't quote me on the math, but the point is, it's making it more
powerful. Test. It's going to be a test
more powerful than ever. So it is that important, and that it'll be that important for heart health as well.
That's right. So moving into our next one, because this is a little humble nutrient that people forget about all the time. And I think it's really important. And, I was looking up statistics again on women's health, because that was kind of where I was going with everything. And magnesium. Magnesium,
Yes.
magnesium,
Yes.
magnesium. It comes up all the time. It is so important for all of our cells.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a lot of different forms. And actually, Joe, I actually have my Mag Complete powder that we just released right here.
Uh-huh.
How about that, huh?
Yep. Looking good.
Effervescent, delicious. Look at that new branding and labeling.
And I have my Power Q600 right here.
There you go. There you go. We're doing a little QVC action now, right?
Exactly.
But the Mag Complete powder, the Mag Complete that we sell in capsule, all has our Trax minerals. Can you touch on Trax minerals and why they're so important?
Yeah, the Trax minerals, the Albion minerals, these are the things. See, minerals are rocks basically, and they're not well absorbed in the body, so they have to be attached to something to get better absorption. So they are chelated. They're attached to these salts that help them get absorbed into the body, make them bioavailable. So all of our minerals are like this, and that was a huge upgrade in our formulations across the board. So you can be sure that you're getting, you remember in the old days, calcium, you had to take this horse pill, because it was, this much calcium and this much fluff,
Yeah.
So it's got a very, what's the word? Very low yield, very low yield. So with minerals in general, that happens. And going with the Albion, the Trax minerals, and these are, like Jamie coined the PRT. It's a PRT. You know what a PRT is? Patented, researched, trademark ingredient.
Not according to Michael Jackson.
Yeah. So yeah, all of our minerals are like that, and our magnesium especially. And it's very important for the magnesium to be that way, because it is the single most deficient mineral in our society today, without a doubt. And here's clinical pearl. Ready?
I'm ready.
I know a lot of people, and I even heard, this is great, because today I was listening to the radio, listened to one of the talk shows of one of the other doctors in town. I always listen to them too, and I'm sure they always listen to me and you, our show. But
yeah, of course.
Of course they do. So I was listening, and a caller called in and asked this doctor. He said, I had my vitamin D levels up really high. I had up at around 100 nanograms per milliliter. He said, then out of nowhere, it dropped down to about 50. He said, I wasn't doing anything different. And I'm waiting for the doc to say, well, there's a simple reason for that. You're probably magnesium deficient, because magnesium plays a big part in vitamin D absorption. So maybe this guy went way down in his magnesium, and that affected his blood levels of vitamin D. But he didn't say that. So I almost called in, but I didn't. So I'm going to say it tonight for our listeners, okay? If you're having trouble getting your D levels up, you may be magnesium deficient.
Yep.
That's only one.
And that's one, right? I mean, magnesium is huge, but it's associated, good intake of magnesium is associated with lower risk of cardiovascular risk factors, especially metabolic syndrome. So everything from coronary artery disease to insulin resistance all has a part in magnesium. Hypertension, magnesium. It's one of the first things that I tell men when they say that their blood pressure is going up. Stroke, anything, higher levels of circulating magnesium have been studied over and over for lower risk of cardiovascular disease. And especially for like an ischemic attack, like, those heart attacks that you hear just kill somebody right away.
Right.
So it's really important that we understand the value of this little nutrient. Again, not the big, bad, sexy nutrient on the blocks, not, all the big keywords like liposomal and methylated. We have the Trax Albion minerals. So these are bonded minerals.
That's right.
And so they are highly bioavailable in our body. They get in there faster and they're more effective. So this little container of magnesium has a great taste. Also, you can use it at night. Great for muscle cramps, sleep. It's good for constipation. 300 processes in the body is what magnesium is involved in. So if there's something that you take out tonight, start with magnesium. It may be the simplest, but it's the most effective.
It is. And, you hit on leg cramps and things. Legs, your muscles in your legs, your heart's a muscle.
That's
so
right.
Any the heart can have a spasm too. So, coronary spasms can be affected directly by magnesium. Leg spasms can be affected. But it just goes on and on. There's no end to the list of what magnesium does. I mean, we're in the wintertime. Do you know anybody with Raynaud's syndrome?
I just saw a post on one of the forums, one of the health forums. The husband is now developing Raynaud's suddenly.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly.
Well, magnesium deficiency, big
That's
part
right.
of that. Yep.
I know. I lurk over these things, and I just want to like dump my brain, and I'm just like, you'll figure it out.
And then there's Dr. Stephen Sinatra, who wrote the Sinatra Protocol way back when. Magnesium was one of the key nutrients in that protocol as well.
Yeah.
So, CoQ10, ribose, magnesium, L-carnitine, they're all there. We got them. We got them.
So we've covered Power Q, original 600, lots of different choices on delivery system. We've covered magnesium, again, delivery system key. So you can use powder, you can use capsule. But we have a few special blends, a few special synergistic blends that the company has come up with. And probably one of my favorites, because of the MTHFR mutation, is CircuCore. So I love CircuCore. I think it's an amazing formula. It has the quadrafolic, the patented trademark, most bioavailable folate on the market. It has so many other nutrients in it for heart health, hawthorn, and so many other things. And it's safe pretty much across the board. So this is a really incredible formulation for those with circulation issues, people that are on certain medications where something else might be dangerous. CircuCore is great. So
yeah, CircuCore is great. This was one of those formulas, Tracy, that years ago, Jamie and I were down at one of the wellness weeks, and we picked up a formula that was a nitric oxide based formula. We looked at it, and sometimes when there's some downtime, we start looking at other formulas and see how we can make them better.
Just for curiosity,
yeah, just to see, But this one was very expensive. I mean, it retailed at around $100, $99.
Wow.
For a month's supply or less. And so we said, you know what, we can do this better. Well, it took a while because we tried to do a chewable, we tried to do a dissolvable, but finally we came up with a great formulation. It's in capsule form. And man, this just blows that other original formula away because we took it to the next level. Yeah, it's got hawthorn in it. That's great for circulation. I mean, they've been using hawthorn forever, right? For circulation.
It's one of the safest herbals to use for cardiovascular health with medications.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
Hands down.
Yep. Beetroot powder got real popular for a while there for nitric oxide, of course. And we use that in there as well. It's great. But then, as you said, the folate's in there. This other formula didn't have folate in it.
And what happens with most metabolic syndromes that we're going to learn at the PTE in February, small plug, shameless plug there that I'll be speaking at, and we'll talk about that too. But, we learned that most mitochondrial issues, ATP production, all of these syndrome X conditions have low mitochondrial biogenesis, low ATP production. At the very best, you're going to produce 36 to 38 ATP. At the very best, that's like completely optimal. That doesn't happen in anybody on Earth right now, not with the level of toxicity and our poor nutrient factors. And now take somebody that has chronic inflammation, how much ATP are they producing? So this formulation, the B vitamins are really what fuels that Krebs cycle, and we're going to learn all about that. But that's what the folate and these B vitamins are so important. It performs so many multiple functions from DNA synthesis and methylation, cell division, growth, development, nervous system function. I mean, B vitamins are everywhere. But one of the most important things is it drives methylation to help convert homocysteine into glutathione and SAMe. And what people don't realize is that if you have an MTHFR mutation like the 677T, right, you are at risk for cardiovascular issues, mostly because you don't convert your homocysteine well. And you have high homocysteine in the blood, which is one of the markers that helps them diagnose you with cardiovascular disease.
And it's one of the most reliable markers, much better than cholesterol.
Right.
Much better.
So, since the chat box is asking about the PTE, why don't we fill them in, Joe? Because this is going to be a lot of fun. We're actually going to be doing functional weight loss. So it's weight loss, a functional medicine approach. This is Paulina Petrusevich. She owns 5 different centers across the United States. She's a certified nutritionist. She's an incredible practitioner and businesswoman. She's going to be sharing her proprietary approach to functional weight loss. And then in the afternoon, I'm going to be talking about adipocytes and adipose tissue, the effects of COVID with obese, and how that all came into play and what actually happened. Also that, fat cells are not the enemy. They're actually a really cool organ system that are used for our detoxification, our, thermogenic balance, also for fat soluble vitamins. So this is going to be a really heavy, intense learning experience for everybody. You're going to have a new proprietary system walking out, the NF for Life Metabolic Reset that I put together. So it's going to be amazing. So I hope you can join us. February 20th in Tampa, Florida, live and in person would be great, but you also have the option to live stream and you can get the playback recording. But wait, there's more, because Joe, before the event, we're going to have a beach party the night before. So if you're in Tampa and you want to come to our beach party, you simply have to RSVP. We're going to be doing that from 6:30 to 9 on the beach at Whiskey Joe's. It's a hop, skip, and a jump down the road from where we're staying and having the venue. We would love to have you. We just need to know you're coming. So please RSVP to info@nutritionalfrontiers.com, or you can call our office at the 412-922-2566 and register you and your staff. One ticket price for everybody. So
wow, what a deal.
Wow. And it's
what a
in Florida.
deal.
That was enough for me. I was like, Florida, I'm all in. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, this is now our second or third PTE down there, isn't it? In Florida.
Yeah.
Different places, different topics, but it's a hotbed, and we'll be doing them down there all year. We'll be doing them up here in Pittsburgh all year too. So
yeah, we have one coming in April, July, and then back to Florida, back to Tampa for October. So a lot of cool things coming up, guys, a lot of opportunity to learn. And, I really would encourage our practitioners, if you haven't been to our event or you haven't signed up for a PTE lately, we've really upped the game. We get into the science, we get into the patented trademarked ingredients, why they work. Jamie does a half hour in the beginning on quality and integrity. It's important because, Joe, I didn't know that stuff on this side. When I was a practitioner, I didn't know all the things that went into how formulas were made, and that companies are not truthful when they tell you stuff, but we are.
What a shock.
I was shocked. I was shocked as a practitioner. I was like, oh, they lied to me.
Yeah.
Those pretty little liars. I can't believe it.
Yes, they're out there. All right. They're out there, but you're not going to get that here. You're going to get quality here. You're going to get and we stand behind it. I mean, look, nobody has the amount of patented, research, trademarked ingredients that we do. Nope. I mean, we're not the biggest supplement company in this country. We're far from it. But there's not one of those giants out there that has the amount of patented, research, trademarked ingredients that we do. And why is that?
Right.
Oh, gee, wonder why.
Because we care.
We care. They don't. I know, sure they do.
I'm sure they do. They just got a little big for their britches. So they gotta shave something off the top.
Yeah.
So guys, if you're interested, sign up for that. I put the link in the chat. I hope you join us there. I hope you come. And then, we have people flying down. We have a lot of practitioners that are coming to Tampa from Pittsburgh for this event. Yeah. I think the beach party got them. We had them at the beach party.
Yeah. We get everybody.
But Paulina, she's amazing. I can't wait to watch her present. She did a little bit for us with the Winer Wellness last time, and it was great. Yes. And, Speaking of Winer Wellness, there is a Winer Wellness event coming up. And this is March 6th through the 13th. Guys, this is going to be a live virtual stream hybrid. So everything's going to be streamed online, but you can go to the center and watch some of these lectures live. Our keynotes this time, Judy Mikovits is coming back. We have Brett Wilcox. He's coming back again. He wrote Jab. And Robert Scott Bell, who has the Robert Scott Bell Show. And what an incredible show that is. So guys, I hope you join us March 6th through the 13th at the Winer Wellness Center. Always amazing savings. And, they give 30+% off all of their supplements. So tune in for that. All right. What products next, Joe? Because
let's finish up with CircuCore. We still have more.
I'm sorry. I jumped.
There's more.
But wait, there's more.
So in addition to those nutrients, then remember, we wanted to make this better. So yeah, the beetroot's great, but what are we trying to do with this? We're really trying to improve nitric oxide production. in the body, right? Because again, that goes right back to oxygen and blood flow. Oxygen and blood. What do they do with someone having a heart attack? They give them a nitroglycerin pill. Right?
Yeah.
Nitric oxide is important. All of the Viagras and Cialis and all that, that's what they're doing. Okay? They're opening up the blood vessels, increasing nitric oxide. So what we did, we added to CoQ10 both arginine and L-citrulline. These are 2 amino acids that have been proven to improve nitric oxide production. Okay,
Wow.
so they're both in there, but we didn't stop there, Tracy. There's more.
But wait.
One of my favorite ingredients, been this way for 20 years. It's still one of the best. It's a grapeseed extract called Activin. And this is a patented, research, trademark version of grapeseed. Now, a lot of companies have grapeseed extract out there, but we don't want just grapeseed. We want a PRT, and we got Activin. Now, why is that important? Because grapeseed extract in general has the ability to fortify the artery walls. Okay, so when you're increasing nitric oxide, you want to make sure the artery walls are intact, strong, and capable of handling increased blood flow, increased oxygen. So all the way around, this product is improved upon others that were out there, and it can be used for so many different applications. Yes, for nitric oxide. Yes, for cardiovascular health. You know, yet for sexual dysfunction as well. It works. It's improving nitric oxide, guys. Okay, you need the blood flow. Here it is. CoQ10, great formula. Love it.
Wow. So that is one of my favorites. And, I don't know how I missed it for so long. Like, I was like, how did I miss this one for so long? So thanks, Joe, for filling us in on all of that, because it is a fabulous formula. So guys, CoQ10 is available. Again, it's 20% off all month long. So I hope you guys embrace these savings, especially for, something as deadly as cardiovascular disease. Yeah. And it's deadly. So, all right, next product that we're going to talk about is CardioStack. Again, another one that I was like, oh, I've never heard of this one. So when I came behind the scenes, I got to experience all these, and CardioStack is pretty impressive.
CardioStack came out before CoQ10. Okay, and it was like our go-to. I mean, it was just, there was nothing like it out there. I mean, it includes, a big portion again of Dr. Steven Sinatra's protocol. It has L-carnitine and CoQ10 in there, but we decided, well, we got to put our own little touch on it, so let's add some DMG. Okay, so now, and that made it that much better. And this was our go-to cardio formula. And then CoQ10 came out, and Power Fuel got improved, and we just kind of we forgot about it for a little while. Okay, but it's still a top seller. It's still a great cardiovascular formula. It adds some dimensions that the other formulas don't, like L-carnitine. L-carnitine is amazing in being able to convert or to utilize fat as energy, get it out of the blood, get it in, burn it in the mitochondria. So that takes another whole capacity there. And of course, the CoQ10 and the DMG. So what a powerful formula. And it should be a staple. And I know we've had a lot of testimonials for people that just went on CardioStack alone and had vast improvement in their cardiovascular health. So, you can combine these together. You can use CoQ10 with CardioStack. You can use Power CoQ10 with CoQ10. You can add them together and make magnesium make magnesium be the binder, for all of them. But CardioStack, we can't forget about it. It adds a dimension that the other ones don't have with the L-carnitine. Highly recommend it.
Yeah. So L-carnitine, DMG, CoQ10. It's triple threat. So great product. And what I love about what we do at Nutritional Frontiers is we have these comprehensive formulas that everybody can utilize, and they're affordable. So it really does work. So I'm going to look through the chat a little bit. Is there anything for biofilm? It's kind of off topic, but yes, actually there is. There's lots of studies on nattokinase and biofilm. So you can use our Nattokin Plus, which is great in between meals. And it's called enzyme therapy. So you can look that up at www.nutritionalfrontiers.com. And if you're a healthcare professional, you can get an account. Otherwise, you need a doctor referral code. So we have several probably in your area that carry our products, and hopefully you can hook up with somebody there.
Mm-hmm.
So, Joe.
Yes, Tracy.
The trifecta, right? The trifecta
Yes.
that we talked about in the very beginning. And I just want to finish up the show because, these Facebook Lives are meant to be educational.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of give you a little bit of information and let you kind of be the doctor and figure it out, right? So we want the practitioner to still be the practitioner. But we have the 3 medications that are most prescribed in a trilogy, right? A diabetic medication, a blood pressure medication, and then a statin medication. We talked about statin drugs, having a CoQ10 to back that and making sure that you always have one. If you have to be on the statin, take at least the CoQ10, take the Power Q. It's going to make a world of difference on your energy, and it's going to have a preventative effect as well, according to studies, on brain health. That's the next big thing I want to talk about, Joe, is these drugs and their impact, the long-term impact on the brain. Right. So I think that's one of the worst detriments with utilizing most of the cardiovascular drugs.
It is. And it's one of those, what do they call them, Tracy? Side effects? Yeah.
Well, I think The Godfather calls them direct
effects. They're direct effects of these chemicals, folks. Don't kid yourself. But, you can't separate the heart and the brain anymore because they're both powerhouses of energy, right? Jamie always says the brain's 5% of the body's total weight, but it uses, 30% of the body's energy at least?
Right.
Maybe more. Okay, so you can't discount that. You can't disconnect them. And these drugs that people are taking are obviously going to have a detrimental effect on major organs of the body. Not only the drug itself, but by what they deplete, right? Mm-hmm. In addition to the damage they're doing, every one of them depletes CoQ10. Every one of them. They deplete B vitamins. We talked about the importance of folate in the CoQ10. They all deplete B vitamins. They all deplete CoQ10. They all deplete magnesium. Why are we so deficient in magnesium in this country? Because we're 5% of the world's population and we take 90% of the world's drugs.
Well, we got to be first at something. We're last.
There's nothing
in health.
left. So the direct effect of these drugs, they cause more damage in other parts of the body and they're not doing you any good. So God, CoQ10, folks, I'm sorry. There's a single person out there that shouldn't be on CoQ10 right now. And if you are on a statin drug, then 200 milligrams is the minimum you need. Minimum. If I were you, I'd be taking Power Q600 twice a day if you're on a statin drug.
Yeah. And, what's it going to do except give you some energy and help you with glycolysis, which, is going to help you with inflammation.
I'm getting you jumbled again, R2D2 on your sound, Tracy. I don't know if I am or not. But.
Maybe I'm just not supposed to talk. It's all you. So, Joe, thank you for all your wisdom tonight. Obviously, we want to help people find a better way and a better path. What people have to remember is lifestyle is the best prevention. And I think they look at supplementation and medication the same. So medication is what you get when you're diagnosed with something, right?
Yes.
So you get heart disease or a diagnosis like that, and boom, they give you a medication. People wait the same way to start supplementing. So it's like, oh, I have high blood pressure. Now I'm going to take magnesium. Yeah. Oh, I have cardiovascular in my family, but it's not bad yet. But all of a sudden I go to the doctor and now I'm at risk. And now I'm going to start CoQ10. The difference between supplementation and medication is supplementation is a lifestyle. It should be supplemental to a healthy diet, good exercise, hydration, all of those things. It's part of your regimen of a healthy lifestyle. It supplements where you have gaps, whether it's a toxicity gap, right, or a deficiency gap. Medication is what you do when you're already sick. So prevention is the best medicine. The doctor of the future should give no medication. They should give everything, and try as a preventative method to help fill nutrient gaps and reduce toxicity. So guys, if you learn anything tonight, start now. If you have hereditary cardiovascular, if you know that your diet is not optimal, if you know that you're not eating all of your, minerals and nutrients, start tonight with some of the things that we talked about, because it's really going to help you prevent some of the things. As studies show, that lifestyle is the biggest prevention of cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, right? All of these things that we're talking about tonight, the studies reflect that lifestyle is the key. So
it's the key, because these so-called diseases are labeled that way so they can make drugs for them. Okay. But they're not, I mean, they don't know what causes them. They don't know. We do. We know
right.
it's either a toxicity or a deficiency, and many times it's both. So we can fix that.
Right. Right. So guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. I'm so glad you're here. Just keep in mind that, our specials go through the whole month of February. We are focusing in on heart health, cardiovascular, and all of our cardiovascular formulations listed here. CircuCore, Power CoQ10, all formulations, CardioStack, and Mag Complete are 20% off all through February. And although we didn't talk about it tonight, we do talk about it a lot. Our wonderful nutrient-based phase 1 through phase 3 detoxification shake called Power Cleanse. This is like my new favorite, is on special too. This is our case special. So 30 count, 6 bottle minimum, 20% off, 14 count, 12 bottle minimum, 20% off. And guys, you can just go to nutritionalfrontiers.com, sign up for that wholesale account. We would love to work with you. We do education. So, join our family. We'd love to have you.
We're here to help. We're here to do what, Tracy? Make the world healthy.
It's making the world healthy. Don't get it wrong, because Michaela gets mad. I corrected him for you, Michaela. So thanks, guys, for tuning in. We will catch you next time on Facebook Live. Stay tuned, because it's just going to get better and better. All right. Thanks, Joe. Good night, all.
Guys.